Fantastic. How you doing, man?
Good. So I saw a screening of The Underground last night, and if I was an actor, I probably would be a method actor. Because I was a little worked up. I needed some time to myself and only around my people last night. So how was it for you guys to emotionally disconnect while working on this project? Particularly since you are fresh off of production.
Actually, I took it in. You know, I think fighting it would have been the worst thing for me, especially what I put myself through essentially to get there with my character. You know, it was a journey, and it was the kind of journey that a lot of actors dream about. So take it in, you know, live it, like let it be there, and when it washes out, that's what it does. But yeah, it was you couldn't ask for a better. I couldn't ask for a better role to get. So it took a while though. It took about a month or so. There were some days just walking around like. Yeah, I'm glad I'm sweating because I don't want nobody to see me crying right now.
What about for you?
You just realize it's not you. It's not you. So when you're not working, you disconnect and you go about your regular life. But then when you're there on the plantation, when you're embodying the character, then that's when you have the conversation with your ancestors, your forefathers, and your foremothers to try to tell the best story that you can tell and to do them justice. And then outside of that, don't get frou-frou and ridiculous and I don't know, I'm a slave walking through the grove. That makes no sense. Some actors can be a little ridiculous with that, and it almost does a disservice to the truth that you're trying to tell while you're telling the story.
Now, other than your own characters, which characters on The Underground did you relate to the most? Like for me, if I was in this project, I'd relate it to Kato. Because my idea of roughing it is staying at a day's end, so I would have to be a house nigga like Kato. Who did you guys identify, outside of your own characters, which characters did you identify with the most?
I think personally I identify with Noah, because I would have been trying to get the fuck out of there, or the freak out of there. I don't know if you can say that, but you said,
Right.
So I'd have been trying to get out of there and enact a plan to leave this place or to tear this thing down, a la Nat Turner or something like that. So to play the character that I played was a complete juxtaposition and a complete 360 to to my natural inclinations. So I would definitely say I related more to Noah.
Definitely Noah, but also Henry. Like just, being at that age, and still being a little green and still being a little naive and like believing, like having more hope and belief than some of the older slaves on the plantation. Like I can relate to that because that's a part of me that I love, that I'm still green about a lot of things. And I like to keep it that way. It's like let's a little wonderment in your mind, and see the world from a few different perspectives. But I love what Ren brought to that character.
There will be some cynical people that say, "Oh no, not another slave project." But I will say, from seeing the screening, there's some pleasant surprises. This isn't business as usual. What will you say to the cynics who are like, "I just can't sit through 12 years a slave again"?
Well, Underground is not a slave drama. Underground is an action-packed thrill ride. It's a drama, but it's a human drama that's set in 1800s, slavery on a plantation in Georgia, and I think that's the main differentiation. It's telling the story of these people who are going through this thing at this time instead of slaves.
Yeah, these people are not victims. And while there is cathartic moments and while there is heartbreak, it is not about the catharsis. There were times where I was shooting the project and I'm looking at the way it's shot and I see a drone fly past me and I see the crane moving like this. And I say, wait a second, I feel like a superhero. Wait a second, I feel like Captain America. I feel like Spider-Man. I feel like Spawn. And I'm like, wait, this is something new. This is something fresh. This is something different. And I think that people don't understand what it took to actually accomplish what these people accomplished during the time period. It took superhuman strength, it took superhuman wisdom, it took superhuman courage, and so these people, the Harriet Tubmans, the Nat Turners, the list goes on, these individuals were the superheroes of their time to be able to, to make it to freedom and then be able to help people along that path to get to freedom as well. So I think people will be excited.
Cool. Thanks for being a part of this resurgence of great scripted programming. But we need this.
Thank you.
We do.
And if you had $1 for every time somebody made a Johnny Gill joke,
I would be a millionaire. I might not be sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? The funny thing is, I'm actually a junior. I'm named after my father, who is Johnny Gill, and he's just the bread working Johnny Gill. He's not the singing Johnny Gill. You know what I mean? So
You said the bread working Johnny Gill?
yeah, he works at a bread factory.